I wanted to show you this part. This is actually I did with Lana a long time ago at a festival, and it was about the wombs we come from, and that connection. And so it was funny because it was hard for me to have that personal sort of it was too close, I think, maybe to have that personal connection. So I kind of looked at it at a bit of a broader sense. And I wanted to give honor to Grandmother Moon and our 13 moons and all the children that women give birth to, in a sense. So that's why all those little tiny hands. My name is Melissa Jo Belcourt Moses, but I go by MJ. Lately in my practice, I've been working on program development for mentorship with youth and younger people, also older ones that want to learn the traditional skills. And that's really what I've been working on as of late. I do want to get back to my personal practice and with all these traditional skills that I love, and trying to change them, not change them, but incorporate them and meld them together and do some works that are not just beadwork or not just quill work, but a combination, and not just like painting, but those kind of things, like using a combination of those different techniques. How did I start with everything? I actually took a class in Lac La Biche. I had to. The teachings weren't in my family anymore. I'm a Belcourt from Lac St. Anne, so my aunts and uncles, grandparents, it was the residential school that sort of wiped all those things out, that you were trying not to be Indigenous, so it was easier to live. And so unfortunately I had to find that from other people, and the college actually offered a course on Native Cultural Arts. And so I did learn all those techniques. Just it was kind of more of just an introduction to everything. And then from there, if you wanted to learn more, it was really up to you to seek out others that could give you a little more further information or direction and those kind of things. So, and that's what I did, from learning how to tan hides the old way from late Elsie Quintel, to learning about rattles from Elsie Whiskey Jack, which is Francis Whiskey Jack's wife, and things like that. So it just, along the way, you learn a little bit as you go, and those kind of things are, I think, really important. And I don't think you can take everything all at once either. I mean, some elders say, I only know this much and I'll teach you this. And I think it's only because that's all we can manage at that time, because I think if we were given everything, the encyclopedia of it in a sense, it would be overwhelming. I don't think we could manage that. So in the beginning, when I was learning how to tan hides the old way, this is actually really what started my direction in my art, because it was through those original teachings that didn't change, that were still part of. I mean, some of the equipment might have been different, like we used rope instead of rawhide rope to string the hide on the frame, but we still used everything that they would have used a long time ago. And so this is my fleshing tool that I made. And I do use it still, like for deer hide, but I have a heavy metal one that I use for my moose hide. But this is kind of that, to me, important, because it was my foundation, where I connected and where I learned directly from an elder who taught in a very Cree style way, I guess you could say, or Nehewak way, because she didn't speak English very well. Cree was her first language. And so you really had to learn from observation and just really absorbing all of that through what she did. And it kind of speaks to that resilience of people, that even though they're going through these hardships, there's still beauty that is found and still worn, in a sense, that there's this representation. There's always a story that goes along with it. There's always a teaching, usually, that's part of it. Because it's not just a piece of beauty, it reflects beauty, but also also hold something a little bit more meaningful. And so when you have a chance to tell people what those stories are and the meanings or the teachings behind that, and then it becomes a little bit more, there's more depth to it, of course, and people usually like that. So yeah, there's more to it for sure. Realizing that I still have so much, so many gifts that have been given to me that I don't want them to be lost because I mentally can't manage my life. But I've been praying and meditating and kind of getting back to those things, and my smudge, and that's really helps me to center in the morning and just kind of keep myself aware, that just to have that attitude of gratitude, really. I'm hoping that with it maybe opening up and that we're a little bit more under control with this, that we might not ever go back to the way it was, but I'm hoping that we can still have those moments that we can come together and share in that creative, connective kind of place and way of being. So I'm hopeful. Yeah.